They were asking me to go to the Middle East soon.
What? What? Where? Why?
Saudi Arabia and UAE or Dubai.
Dubai?
I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah. For the troops? Is it for the troops?
Not for the troops.
What?
It's for the Saudis.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, and everyone's like, yeah, you should do it. Everyone's doing it. It's like, for Saudis?
Yeah.
Weren't those the 9/11 guys?
Shane Gillis refusing to go to the Riyadh Comedy Festival was always going to be a headline. Not just because turning down a significant bag in showbiz is rare, but because now his no becomes fodder for narrative war. And as other comics stack into this Saudi showdown, the internal drama of stand-up ethics is turning more theatrical than a roast. First, the fans. Among Gillis's base, this move was hailed as rare integrity. In message boards, Reddit threads, comment feeds, the tone was a mix of relief and, finally, someone in comedy who still gives a damn. For many, saying no to that level of payout in Saudi Arabia is the kind of balk that restores faith in the trade. The idea that not every big check is worth cashing. They praised it not as a martyr's gesture, but as a comedian still seeing the comedy, and the world clearly enough to walk away.
I should have taken I got to take the Saudi Arabia deal. I should have taken it. I'm washed.
So I do get the fact that they perpetrated 9/11.
I'm not doing it.
That is good. I admire that.
Then they doubled the bag, and I was like,
They doubled the bag, the princes?
it was a significant bag.
What?
But I'd already said no. You know, I took a principled stand.
Yeah, against Saudi Arabia.
It wasn't even that. I didn't even think about it.
I thought we were allies with
I didn't
Saudi
even
Arabia.
really think. Yeah, we are. We give them a ton of.
So why the hell did they do 9/11 to us?
Wasn't Osama bin Laden just from Saudi Arabia?
Every single hijacker basically
Yeah.
was Saudi.
Yeah, you don't 9/11 your friends, bro.
Don't 9/11 your friends.
You don't. That's up.
And go over and go, hey guys, you guys want to talk about? I was in 7th grade when you guys did that. It was nuts.
Gillis didn't just refuse, he leaned into the choice. Clips from his podcasts and interviews show him lampooning peers who took the gig, framing their choice as both a business decision and a moral calculation. The impact shifts depending on whether you like Gillis's style. Some see a comedian holding the line. Others see a guy posturing for clout. Either way, he succeeded in inserting himself into the Saudi festival debate on his terms. Which brings us to Bill Burr, the big curiosity in all of this. Big J. Oakerson, on a recent podcast segment, expressed audible surprise and maybe a little betrayal at Burr's decision to perform in Riyadh. In the clip, Oakerson quite plainly sounds like someone who expected Burr to behave differently, that this move is out of character for a comedian who's often cast himself as a contrarian and outsider.
Has anybody else been added to the list?
I think Tim Dillon was.
That doesn't blow my mind.
No, Tim is the fucking.
Tim's the
Tim
exact
is soulless.
person that would do it.
Yes.
Yeah, and like merrily and be like, I don't care. Yeah. I get that. Whitney.
They're paying me 7
Whitney surprises
figures.
me. Burr surprises me. Louis surprises me.
Burr's coming to Skankfest?
No, this is for the
talking about the Saudi Arabian
Comedy Festival.
The surprise is, in itself, a kind of commentary. In comedy circles, Burr's attendance isn't just about money, it's a signal. The setup between Oakerson and Burr's decision feels almost sitcom adjacency. You? Doing that? What makes Burr's decision less surprising to some is that it follows patterns from his past. In earlier podcasts, he has spoken favorably about Arab people, wealth, and respect for cultures sometimes dismissed in Western discourse.
Underrated. Arabs.
Oh, God.
What?
No, I mean, it's not bad that they're... I don't know where it's going. I just judged it by...
You really did.
Underrated Arabs. Well, I mean...
Hey, you know what? It ain't that bad.
Exactly. See?
That's how you heard it. But that's how you heard it.
No, but you did.
That's not how I heard it. That's not how I heard it. I was like, oh, great. This is going to be something complimentary, considering the beef we've been having...
I mean...
Since 9/11. This is some positive... let's bring people together.
Oh, God. Underrated.
All right. No. Hey there, Red Bildo. I am a 21-year-old guy from Saudi Arabia. Wish to know if you plan to include us in your next tour. Our government pays good money for entertainment. Well, what are the parameters? I just want to make sure I ain't going over there and all of a sudden I say something, the wrong fucking thing and then I get in trouble. I don't need that. Dude, I got to be honest with you. The second you said you were from Saudi Arabia, I just pictured somebody vacationing in London, shipping his cars in one car in one plane and himself in his private jet. Oh, I have the feeling that if I go over to the Middle East as an American, that we've just had so many fucking not good back and forths over there that I'm going to get the fucking ass kicking that they want to give our last 3 fucking presidents.
So for those who tracked Burr's worldview, his participation in a Saudi state-funded festival doesn't feel like random hypocrisy. It feels like an extension of an ideological posture, twisted by scale and complications. Critiques from other comedians have sharpened over the past weeks. Mark Maron has publicly scolded performers for lending legitimacy to the event. Others have framed it as a moral error masked as art.
And don't get me started about the Riyadh Comedy Festival. All these huge acts, I can name names, but you can just go look it up, were offered complete ridiculous amounts of the bloodiest money on the planet.
Yeah.
I can maintain this position because one, I wasn't asked.
Yeah, of course. That's always with me.
And I don't think I'd go. I know I wouldn't. But it's like, does history not matter at all? I mean, literally, it's like the Riyadh Comedy Festival from the guys who brought you 9/11.
In comedy communities, there's a whisper, sometimes loud, that choosing to go to Riyadh is choosing to be part of a PR vehicle, whether you want to or not. That criticism isn't just about the Saudi regime's record. It's about the optics, the alliances, and the question, when you travel for a laugh, who's buying the ticket? In that sense, Gillis, Burr, Oakerson, and the rest are playing parts in a larger meta set about comedy, money, and moral theater. The fans who celebrate Gillis are not just praising one decision, they're signaling they want a world in which comedians have lines. The fans furious at Burr feel betrayed not just by a gig, but by a brand, a persona, a set of unspoken rules. Meanwhile, comics criticizing the festival are asserting that even in stand-up, you can't punch up if your mic is bought by the guy at the top.
Did you hear that Saudi Arabia is hosting celebration of laughter, a comedy fest? I was listening to Tim Dillon yesterday, and he said, well, yeah, I don't know why people are making this such a big deal, because, yeah, I am looking the other way, knowing who these people are, because they're paying me big time. And maybe a 30 minutes long act, they're paying me $375,000. Some people are getting paid in the millions. Last year, or I think it was early this year, they've hosted some of the biggest Hollywood stars and a huge music fest when their brothers and sisters next door are dying, not only because bombs are raining on them, but because they're also being starved to death. Look at this little girl. She's crying because she's hungry. Muslims everywhere are starving. Not because they're poor, but because they're being conditioned into poverty, especially the Middle East. They could lift the blockade if they want. With their money basically working everywhere, they can use their leverage and lift the blockade.
So where does all this leave us? It leaves us watching comedians behave like characters in their own drama. Gillis, the abstainer. Burr, the paradox. Oakerson, the surprise confidant. Critics as chorus, and the audience deciding who, if anyone, is telling the truth. Comedy has always been messy. Now the mess is on stage before the jokes begin.